I'm at a brand new location, never been here before. It's called Xorret de Cati, and I've got no idea what that means. And today is mostly a scouting trip, but as always I'm going to see if I can find something worth shooting, even though it's middle of the day. Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. I'm at a place called Xorret de Cati. Oh, it's windy. And I've never been here before. Not really got much of an idea what's here. Just found it on a bit of a search around on the web and thought I'd come and have a look. It's middle of the afternoon, so not expecting great light. So this is mostly a scouting trip to try and see if there's something of interest to come back for. But as always on these trips, I'm going to see if I can find something that I can shoot in this, even in this kind of midday harsh light. I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you do and you're not already a subscriber, then please consider hitting subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, then of course thank you very much. Okay, so first challenge. I've driven up here and I found a recreation area which looked like a good place to park the car, and quite often these recreation areas in these protected parks like this one have maps that show you, what you can see and where the routes are, because I couldn't find anything much online, and unfortunately there's nothing there. So I'm just taking a walk down the road and looking to see where some trails go off, and then we'll have to see what we can do about finding some exploration spots. It's a shame that there's not more information about this place, because it's quite out in the wilds. As I said, it's one of these protected zones, so it's like almost like a national park type thing. I'm sure we'll find something. Okay, I actually found some kind of information sign here. It's actually by a hotel, which is over here. But interestingly, I think this hotel's been shut for at least a couple of years, as far as I'm aware. But it does look as if it's giving me a bit of information which might help me find my way around. And I do recognise something that I saw in one of the pictures, which you can see it over there, but I'll give you a closer look in a minute. It's like a statue of a cyclist, because I think this area is supposed to be quite popular for cycling. In fact, I think it was a cycling website that I actually found it on. So I'm going to choose to explore kind of down that way first and see what I can find. Okay, so I've done a bit of walking along the road. I found some signs pointing off to some kind of features, but they're like 5 kilometres away, and that's probably beyond the distance that I really want to hike today. Now I found another little sign that's pointing me off down a kind of a dirt track, pointing me towards the refugios, which is kind of like, refuges. So I'm wondering if there might be something down here. So I'm going to explore down here for 5 or 10 minutes. See what I can find. There were some interesting looking trees down here. Well, it looked like it from a distance. What they'll be like when I get closer up, I don't know. Okay, so I found this. I'm not really sure what it is. It's some kind of pond. It's all fenced off. It's got loads of reeds and that growing around it. Water looks pretty nasty, actually. I don't think you'd want to get anywhere near the water. Perhaps that's why it's fenced off. And then there appears to be kind of a little tiny channel encased in brick that runs up there. And then I can see a staircase and these pale trees here. I don't know how well they're showing up on the video. Might work as a composition, but I'm not really feeling it at the moment. I think what I'm going to do is explore a bit further up and see what's up there, and see if there's another view that might look better. Okay, so it appears that water goes down in that little thin channel in a series of terraces down to that pool, and it appears to originate here, which I think is actually Xorret de Cati, which is what gives the place its name. It's probably some kind of natural well, but still not really 100% sure where the water's actually coming from, and I'm now not 100% sure how to get back to where I started from either, but okay. Nothing much there to consider photographically. Okay, so I've worked my way back up to the old hotel. So far I'm not finding anything here that's really grabbing me. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some beautiful scenery here. I mean, just sort of wandering over here now, and just wait for the exposure to settle down, but you know, some beautiful scenery to look at here with the mountains, and over here as well. But it's not going to make a decent photo. There's no composition here. I'm too low down to be able to get a good shot of it. I'm not seeing any foreground interest. No. I'm going to head back up the hill, back towards where I parked the car, and just see if anything grabs me further up. Well, at the moment, not doing very well. Okay, so I've found this area which has got quite a nice little group of trees kind of spreading out in all directions, and I've been playing around with ideas on compositions, and the idea is to just have all the shapes of the trees and then take a shot when the light's coming through, which it is now. I'm actually going to do two shots. I'm going to do one at 1/13 of a second, because that'll avoid blowing the highlights, and then another one at 1/4 of a second, which will give me nice detail in the foreground. So I've got 16 to 35 lens on, 16mm, f11, ISO 64, focused on the background because the first tree that's in the frame is a good 2 meters away. And I've got a circular polarizer on, which is just helping to cut a little bit of the glare out. There's a small rock in there which is white, which might prove to be a distraction that will have to come out, I don't know. I'm actually going to do another shot at 1/20 of a second because the sky is pretty bright. Okay, so I decided to take a shot of this pool here with the fence around it, and then there's some trees in the background. There's a little cluster of trees that I'm managing to bring into the frame, and then there's a blue sky with some quite nice clouds up there. I'm shooting portrait orientation, 16 to 35 lens, 16mm. No polarizer, because I want to keep the reflections such as they are in the pool. There are some reeds right in the foreground that I really can't avoid having in there no matter how I compose the shot. And at the moment 1/80th of a second is giving me a good exposure, no blown highlights, no clip shadows. And I am going to do a shot focused on infinity, which I think we'll probably do, but just to be on the safe side with these reeds in the foreground, I am going to do a shot focused there as well. And then just because some of those clouds are a bit bright, I'm going to do another one focused on infinity down at 1/125th of a second, and I've got the options then to blend things in as I need to. I mean, it's actually quite a nice shot, I suppose. It's not going to win any awards, but it's not bad. Okay, I think I'm about done. It's been a nice walk around, and don't get me wrong, this is a beautiful place. It's very scenic, but I just don't feel it's particularly good photographically. And there's a big difference between a beautiful scene and something that makes a beautiful photograph, and I'm just not feeling the photographic potential here. Now, having said that, I may well choose to come back here later in the year, maybe around autumn time, because you never know, we might get some autumn colours here. There are some different types of trees here, so I may well come back here, but I think for today I'm finished, and hopefully I've got a couple of okay shots. Okay, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, don't forget about maybe considering giving it a like or a share or both, and of course that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you think. Comments down below, and as always, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, so thank you very much. And until the next video, bye.